Hey guys! Welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. In today's episode, we are going to be starting our final dungeon in the entire game, Hyrule Castle. We are heading straight into the enemy stronghold to take on the King of Evil himself. This dungeon is another, just like the Palace of Twilight, very straightforward. There's really not that much you could do that deviates what you do in the dungeon whatsoever. The theming of this dungeon, though, is choice on one or two sides you can access. In the courtyard on the first floor and the second floor, basically you can go on the east courtyard and the west courtyard, and if you go explore both of those ends, they both give you a small key, but you only need one small key in order to gain access to the actual castle itself. So you have a choice to whether or not you want to go this way and do it, or you want to go that way and do it. But it's actually very beneficial to get both keys, because later on in the dungeon, you're going to have that extra key in order to access the last room before the final boss room. Yeah, there's a bunch of goodies in that room too, so be sure to grab both keys on both ends of the courtyard. But after that, you pretty much just climb your way up to the top of the castle. Again, there's another segment where you can split off and go different routes, but it doesn't affect anything like the courtyard scenario does. You can go both ends, and they just give you treasure chests or rupees and whatnot, which at this point in the game, you should have plenty of rupees, and you shouldn't really be needing to worry about rupees too much. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Yeah, as soon as you climb up to the very tip-toppity top, you take on the final boss of the game. So, yeah, this is a really straightforward dungeon for the final dungeon of the game. But without further ado, let's go on with the episode. Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. In the last episode, we took a look at the Wii U version exclusive content, the Cave of Shadows, and cleared out that dungeon, and got the Colossal Wallet, which is basically a wallet that can hold 9,999 rupees. Not very good reward, but that was the last thing we really needed to pick up at all. That was the last side quest. We're all done. The only thing left to do is to take on the final dungeon of this game, and that is Hyrule Castle. So we unlocked Hyrule Castle with the little cutscene with Midna transforming into the giant tentacle monster with the fused shadow to destroy the barrier. And now the barrier Hyrule Castle is completely gone, so now we have access to the castle. We have to go inside and push these, gates open before we can actually go inside the actual castle itself. So, without further ado, let's go inside. And this is Hyrule Castle. It's all its beautiful glory. We've been here a couple times, but it's been on the rooftops and stuff like that in order to kind of talk to Zelda. We're actually inside the courtyard, and this dungeon is kind of a weird dungeon because one thing in particular, there are like optional paths we can actually go to. You only need to do one path in the courtyard for right now to go on, but if you go both paths, it'll be worth your while. So it's actually kind of beneficial to go and do so. We're gonna go over to the right path first, because you have an option. You can either go to the right or the left. I'm gonna go to the right first. And as you guys can see, we have a gauntlet of bokoblins here straight off. Yeah, we have to go kind of destroy all the bokoblins here before the barrier can go down and we can advance. I mean, they're throwing out first enemies at you again, so it's not really like that big of a deal. But without further ado, we can actually go on to, I guess this would be the east courtyard of Hyrule Castle. like I said before, you only need to go on one side of the courtyard because the front door is actually locked with a small key. But it's worth your while to go on both paths because you're going to be needing that item later. We got Boblins and the Goblins. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, between episodes, I went to the store and I actually restocked on all my items because I was really low on arrows, really low on bombs. I was low on a lot of things, so that's why my rupee count is different than the last episode, and why I got all my arrows for my quiver now, finally. Now, let's go ahead and take care of all these guys here. Another thing in particular, there's TNT crates everywhere. So, yeah, if you just attack that, it's going to blow up. So, but yeah, there's a lot of scaffoldings around here. And you'll notice right off the bat here soon, that has an indication that we need to use a certain steed in order to get through here. Yeah, because in order to advance, we need to actually bust through a bunch of these scaffoldings here. I say scaffoldings, but just planks of wood. Scaffolding is a part of a structure. I shouldn't be saying it like that. But we need to actually go through, not through there, because that's blocked. But through this wall right here, this hole right here, I see now. Yeah, we need to use the boars from Arbiter's Grounds. If you guys remember when we had the Arbiter's Ground boar rodeo here, we're going to have to use, you know, his charge attack to destroy all these wood planks and not run into TNT like a dummy. And knocked him clear out of commission. Give him just a second, he'll get back up. There you go. But we're going to have to use the boar to destroy the pathway so that way we can go onwards. And I'm not doing a very good job. I keep knocking myself against the wall here. But one thing about Hyrule Castle I like for this dungeon, it's very, very ambient. Like, most of the final dungeons, like in Zelda that I remember, it has very ominous music to it. This one in particular, since, well, this is just straight up Hyrule Castle. This isn't, you know, like Ganon's Tower from, like, Ocarina of Time or something like that. It's still, like, has its main aesthetics, like the other, like, if it was just regular Hyrule Castle, which it is, but it's just very ambient. You just hear the sound of rain right at the beginning here. There's no music accompanying it. There's nothing. And it's kind of strange hearing that, but I actually enjoyed it a little bit here. Oh, gosh. That's okay. I needed to get off anyways. Alright, but yeah, it's just very, like, kind of weird to hear all this ambient music. Like, just the rainfall and everything else. Now, if you come up here, and you get up to this point right here, I think there's a little cutscene that should be... Oh, I guess not? Okay. Anyways, right here, you'll see the Triforce on the floor. We want to use our Gale Boomerang to kind of clear up the leaves here. This kind of gives us a clue what we need to do. There's a Z pattern right here on this Triforce. Oh, push the L button. There's the cutscene. It says, aren't you curious what's on the other side of this wall, Link? There might be a way in. Want to check it out? Yeah, well, we'll check that out later, Midna. I promise. But yeah, there's a Triforce design on the floor, and it has like a Z pattern on it. It's for these windmill pillars here. They're actually in the shape of a Triforce. So what you need to do is you need to use your Gale Boomerang and activate all the windmills in that pattern, that Z pattern. So we come up here. And do that. Let go. Once you do that, the little gate will open, and we will get our treasure chest. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get our prize. Prize is kind of important for this dungeon. It's the dungeon map, as you couldn't tell. So, yeah, now we have a map layout of the whole entirety of Hyrule Castle. So, with this palette, the Hyrule Castle only has 5 floors to it, and most of the floors are pretty easy. It's just the first and second floor that kind of are just ginormous. But yeah, the inside, the interior of it's pretty small, but that's okay. Now, before you leave to go do that, the wall thing that Midna mentioned, climb up this ladder. And if we go down here, all the way down this siding of the building here, there's a treasure chest here. And inside this treasure chest is our next Miiverse stamp, the Sad Zelda stamp. With that, we only have one more Miiverse stamp left in the entire game to get. I might, you know, you might sound crazy if you look at my inventory screen and say, no, Matthew, if there's 50, you need 2 stamps. I'll go into more detail about it when we get the last stamp. So, just hold up on that idea for just a minute. I'm not crazy. My numbers are not, I'm not crazy with numbers.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I am. I did go to school for accounting.
Well, we love you anyway.
Okay. So now we can actually go on the other side of this wall here. We turn on our senses. When we come up here, you'll notice there's a dig spot right here. Let's go ahead and go into the dig spot. Welcome to the graveyard of Hyrule Castle. Yes, this is the graveyard section of here. It's a lot more spooky and ominous here, and you know the rain is making it really kind of like dreary looking. And I love the aesthetic here. It's like one of my favorite things about Hyrule Castle is the graveyard section here, because it's really kind of just ominous looking. Now we do have some Stalfos here, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my bomb arrows here to kind of just go ahead and one-shot them. Take that! Actually, I think they just straight up die if you use a bomb, regular old bomb, on them. Now, you'll notice that there's a gate here with statues, and it looks like I can use my lantern here. But hold off on that idea for just now, because I'll put it this way, you won't be able to light the torches because it's raining. The rain will put out the torches. So don't worry about it for right now. There's going to be something we can do here in just a second. After we deal with these Stalfos here. Boom. Did I kill both of them? Yeah, I killed both of them. I actually kill him from the ground. No. He formed before I do that. There we go. Now, here, there's another locked door. So there's really nowhere we can go. But let's go into wolf form and turn on our senses. Here in the graveyard, there's some weird things that are going on here. If we go look at this tree, you'll notice that the spirits of Hyrule Castle, the Hyrule soldiers of Hyrule Castle, are here around this rock right here on the ground. They're kind of giving you a clue. Hey, use a bomb on this rock here. We're gonna go ahead and do that. And that reveals a switch. And that opens up that gate that is over here. Now inside this treasure chest is an orange rupee. I kind of make up the money that I lost restocking, so at least that's something. Not that I really need money at this point in the game, so. Alright, all these jars here have money in it. And I think that chest right there has money in it too. Let's go ahead and open them and get our prize. Oh, I forgot. This one has a singular green rupee in it. Such a waste. I don't know why it was in a chest. But inside this one, it has a red rupee, which is 20. So, there you go. Now, there is a refill station for your lantern. So, in case you were running low on your lantern oil. So, just kind of restock on it, because we're going to have to use our lantern to light this up. Now, when you light this lantern post, it clears up the rain. So we have to go over there real quick, like, to light the other lanterns on the other side, because now I can actually light them because it's not raining anymore. This is on a time limit, so be very quick about it. After a couple seconds, it will start raining again, and it'll put out the torches, so if you don't activate it, yeah, you won't be able to do that. But it reveals that there are, in fact, more Dominion Rod statues, and this is probably like the last time in the game we actually used the Dominion Rod. It's just kind of sad. Honestly, if I had to say an item that had the least use out of all of them, the Dominion Rod itself would probably win that. But if we check this, it says, doors open where specters gaze. Okay, so, yeah, that kind of gives you an indication. We need to, well, let's kill this stall kid first. Because, yeah, I saw him kind of getting out of the ground there. Well, let's turn into a wolf first. And if you notice, there's Hyrule guards right here, gazing at this wall right here. As you guys can see, there are some indications in the ground right there we can use for statues. So we're going to take those statues that we just freed from that room with the Dominion Rod and kind of bring them over here. And put them in the ground right there. Let's go ahead and grab the other one. Like I said, this is probably the last time we're going to be using the Dominion Rod in the entire game. So, like I said before, it's kind of sad when you really think about it because, yeah, the Dominion Rod didn't get very much screen time to be used. And I mentioned this when I was talking about this with Sonic Ghost earlier in the previous episodes. But, like, the spinner and the Dominion Rod are kind of, like, not very useful items because they're very situational. Whereas, like, the items like the ball and chain, for instance, I could use that in fights. So it has more practical use than the other ones. There's a lot of things with this game that the items aren't very useful or practical. Like, for instance, too, another thing, the slingshot. You don't use it after you get the bow. You don't use it ever again. Why would you? But anyways, let's go ahead and grab this thing right here. And it opens up the gate. And it has another treasure chest in here. So we open it up, and it has a small key. Once you get this small key, Midday comes up and says, "You've gotten everything you need out of here. Now get to the castle through the front door." Okay, so now we have access to the front door. We can actually gain access to the actual interior of Hyrule Castle now that we have a key. Well, there's another thing we can do first, and it'd probably be best to do it. And you'll understand why here in just a second. We have everything we need to go inside the dungeon, but it'd be best to just do both ends of the courtyard. Because there is going to be something later that requires that extra key. So it'd be best to go ahead and grab it. And we got Boars here, and Bulbin's yelling at me saying, "Hey, you're trespassing." I said, "Well, I already killed you once, I'll go ahead and do it again. This time I'll just knock you down." Or he'll knock me down. Alright, Boar, get up. Alright, so let's go ahead and... No, not dismount. Not dismount. Get back on. You want to charge. There we go. Bust through the gates. Those look like that one Tenacious D song. Storm the gates! Go ahead and kill all these goblins because they're in my way. And we got Bulbin being a terrible shot right now. Oh, well, he wasn't a terrible shot there. I was a terrible shot 2 times. There. Now he's dead. Alright, let's go ahead and go back to the way we came. Back to the front courtyard. Now let's go ahead and go on the east side the east courtyard. Now that we've actually that's the west. I'm sorry. Never eat soggy waffles. I gotta remember that for the cardinal directions. But now let's go on to the west courtyard. And just like the east courtyard entrance, as soon as we get to this part here, we're gonna have to fight a gauntlet of enemies here. And those guys just literally just spawned. I saw them pop in. If you touch this force field, you'll be knocked around a little bit, and you'll actually take damage from it. So just be careful not to be too close to the force field. But there we go. We've taken care of that. Let me open up all these crates here. Trying to get as many items as I can to kind of refill my stock here. But now we're going to go onto the west courtyard. And when we come up this way, another force field will be put down. And this is going to be a major enemy gauntlet. As you see, there's a bunch of bokoblins waiting for us. More than normal. Just going to go ahead and do a jump slash. Kill them all at once. Man, I killed a lot there. Finishing blow. There we go. Now that we cleared out that, the gauntlet's done. As soon as we go through here, we have to go down around the corner here to the next room. We're going to have to grab this chain like we did earlier and kind of pull it open to open the gate. And as soon as we get there, there's an arena right here. We're about ready to have a mini boss fight. It's the return of our old friend King Bulblin. I have come to play. So we're going to have a rematch with King Bulblin, just like we did at Arbiter's Grounds. Again, just like at Arbiter's Grounds, he's got a big old axe, so just be mindful of that. Just you know, watch his swings whenever he swings his hammer around. He's going to do a lot of damage to you, just like he just did to me right now. So wait until he swings his hammer, then you can strike him. Like this. Don't get too greedy though, because then he'll just smack you silly, like he just did earlier. And once he's stunned, then you can get a couple more hot shots on him, like this. And he'll start spinning around. Actually, I don't think he's ever done that to me before. Do the back slice. Back slice is also very effective too. I actually don't think he's ever done that spinning move before. He's done it 3 times already so far. Really get away from him. He's a little bit gonna hurt me a little bit. My practice file didn't have too much trouble with him. Enough! You got a small key. With this, it'll open a locked door in it, but only in this area. I follow the strongest side. That is all I have ever known. And with that, King Bulblin's gone. He's He's deserted Ganondorf and his forces and joined our cause. Link. He spoke. I don't know why. Every time when Minna just reminds me that King Bulblin just talked to us, she's like, he spoke. I don't know why. Every time I read that text, it always cracks me up really bad. It's like, Link, he spoke. And then you really think about it and it's just like, yeah, he hadn't talked this whole entire time. And now he's talking. But yeah, that's going to be the last time we see King Bulblin. And, you know, King Bulblin was kind of a pain in the rear end the whole entire adventure. You know, he started off the game, he kidnapped the kids, kidnapped us, and all this other things. And then, you know, he kidnapped the kids again. We had to duel him at the Bridge of Eldin. And then he blocked our path when we were trying to move King Rayless to Castletown, or to Kakariko Village, and stuff like that. So it's just like King Bulblin was just a pain in the rear end the whole entire time. And then there was that fight at Arbiter's Grounds, where he set his own base ablaze. Now there's something else we can get here with the, if we come up this staircase here, I forgot to go ahead and get this, but there is a treasure chest here. It's nothing big, but I'm gonna go ahead and grab it anyways because, well, I'm trying to get all the treasure chests in the dungeon. So now that we have 2 keys, it'll be best for us to have that, because like I said earlier, we only need 1 key in order to gain access to the interior of Hyrule Castle, but it's best to get 2 because there's going to be a locked door, an extra locked door that needs that extra key, so it'd be best for us to get both. And then trust me, you'll want to get that extra key because what's behind that door is kind of good. So, and I jumped completely off of this thing. I didn't mean to do that. Alright, so there's a treasure chest right here. And inside's a red rupee. Like I said, it's nothing big. But, you know, more money. More money's always good, I guess. Even though we already have a source of infinite money at this point in the game. So, yeah, that's going to be the west end, west courtyard of Hyrule Castle. And now, with both keys in tow, we can actually go inside the interior of the castle. So, we're going to go ahead and do that. As soon as I break all the boxes down and get more hearts, because, well, that fight kind of did a number on me. Yeah, he just branded number 1 on my... He used the cow branding to put it on my forehead, just put number 1. Did a number on me. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up this door and go inside Hyrule Castle.